This is a recording, and it's about wearing finger rings and the influence that it has on one. When they add a ring to their finger or a heavy ring, they add weight to the qualities of the finger. And each finger represents a different quality. You have the Sun finger, the Mercury finger, the Saturn finger, the Jupiter finger, the thumb, which represents willpower and determination. And by adding weight to any of these, it starts influencing somebody's behavior in life. And sometimes they add these rings because they're going through a transition, a change. So we'll look at some of the propensities of adding a ring to a certain finger and see what effect it has on the person and their life and their circumstances. Now, if you look at the Apollo finger, the Sun finger or the Apollo finger, which is what we call a normal ring finger, Apollo is the sun, and it has to do with people born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th of any month, and it also affects July or Cancer people. And when you add weight to a ring, if it's normally a light ring, that would have to do with a normal relationship. But when somebody adds a heavy ring to the Apollo finger, they desire more of the limelight, and they usually desire more creativity and money, because Apollo is the sun, and the sun is what brings light into somebody's life. Even the sun line on the hand, which is the Apollo line that goes straight up alongside the second fate line, you can almost call it, brings the limelight into people's life, attention, and there tends to be money. The more ones somebody has in their day of birth, month of birth, year of birth, their total life path, the more sunshine, the more possibilities for finances, and they're noticed more by people than the people with less ones. And it also is affected by people with an AJ or S initial, which is the 1 series. And by adding weight to this finger, you may also attract the Sun people. The negative part of the Sun, which doesn't mean bad, it means less pronounced, is February or Aquarius people. So you may somebody, by adding weight to the Apollo finger, may actually attract a February or Aquarius, and August or Leo, which is the end of July. Now, if somebody were to put a pinky ring on, let's say, which a lot of people may not wear, it would if they had a heavy ring, there's a desire for a heavy ring. It's above the amount of the moon, which is right below that, and then there's a desire for partnerships. A light ring is better for communication, and but a heavy ring is a desire for a partnership. It's trying to affect the amount below, which is the moon, which has to do with partnerships. And with that, a heavy pinky ring, somebody could attract Mercurian type of people, June or Gemini people, people born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd, as well as September or Virgo people. So those are the relationships that the ring would tend to encourage. So this would be on the Mercury finger, which is the pinky. And it would give better communication and draw more business and money situations, as Mercury has those traits. In fact, I once knew somebody with a bent Mercury finger, and they had a distinct stutter, because Mercury has a lot to do with communication. And when somebody puts more weight on their finger, by adding a heavy ring, they're trying to increase communication with people to try and also increase business situations. Now, if they put a heavy ring on the index finger, it has to do with Jupiter, and they're looking for power and leadership and authority. And Jupiter is people born on the 3rd, 12th, 21st, or 30th. It also is affected by December or Sagittarius people, as well as March or Pisces people, and it would tend to draw more of those people in one's life, because when you make a change, it affects everything. It draws those things. By adding more weight to that finger, it increases the propensities of that finger. Now, if somebody were to wear a thumb ring, it affects willpower and determination, and they would have more "it's my way" attitude, and increases one's determination and willpower. And when you see somebody wearing a lot of mixed new rings, it indicates a change of attitude, goals, and also personality changes. They're going through a transition. So when somebody does something, it has an effect. Now, the normal place for a ring normally would be to what we call the ring finger, which is Apollo. But if you put a heavy ring there, it increases those tendencies, the sunshine, the person wants to be more in the limelight, etc., etc. If they start wearing a light ring, it usually indicates something to do with a bonding relationship. But when somebody adds a ring to these fingers, they're adding something, and they're also drawing those type of people in their life that ring and those planets and those numbers and those letters represent. For instance, with Mercury, it would be an E, N, or W. That's the 5th, 14th, or 23rd letter of the alphabet. With the Sun, it would be a AJ or S, which is the 1st, the 10th, or the 19th letter of our alphabet. And of course, it also includes the 28th, but there's no 28th letter. And with the pinky, it's the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd, the E, N, or W initial, and sometimes the W or it could just be in the name, because it's kind of an odd letter that not everybody has. So it's an interesting way of looking at it. And if you trace people putting rings on, you'll find they'll have more contact with the people that those fingers represent.